Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those who didn't subscribe yet, click the subscribe button so that you will be updated on the following videos I'm going to upload on my channel regarding my knowledge about this course. Okay? So for today's content, I'm going to share my learnings about lesson 1 of this course. But before that sharing, let me first wear this glass so that I might look
genius. So the lesson 1 is all about introduction to materials development in the course language learning materials development. There is so much information about that lesson, but I'm just going to share my learnings about introduction to materials development. The first is material. What is material? Material are those helpful tool or visual
tool for teachers in facilitating and implementing learnings for their students, such as educational videos in YouTube or DVDs or any video materials, and printed materials such as books, grammar books, course books, or printed activities given to the learners. And by that, teachers can easily implement or utilize or foster learnings for the students as they have materials to be used as a guide in teaching the students.
So the second fruit that I've ripped and put in my basket is all about materials development. Materials development are those done by the materials developers. Before that materials being implemented or used inside the classroom, it must be developed first by the developers so that to ensure its effectivity, so that teachers can create a good input and for the learners to create a good output. So materials development has its connectivity to materials, as materials are those things that the teachers being used inside the classroom, but before it is going to be used inside the classroom, it must be first developed by the developers. So I have a cheetah. We all know that everything in this world has its own issue. Well, for the materials development has its own issue too. So the issue of materials development, let's check at this one, is the differences of the needs and wants of the teachers, the learners, and the administrators. Their needs and wants do not coincide to each other. So there arose a suggestion that before, during, and after the development of a material, it must be the teachers, the learners, and the administrators must be consulted first all about their needs and wants, so that the needs, wants of the teachers, learners, and administrators will be met together, so that the issues will not arise. We all know that every issue has its solution. Just like mathematics, everything has solution, but difficult. So there are also issues about who would develop a material that address about a person as who, and how the materials to be developed. Issues is all about a ways on how to develop that material. So how that person develops a material. What way a person or a developer use to develop a material.
retouch muna tayo. Lahawag si Maya.
By the way, Reptilistas, let's go to the third fruit that I've ripped in this lesson. It's all about materials evaluation. what is materials evaluation? It is done by the evaluator to evaluate or to measure the effectiveness or the value of a certain material. So there are three types of materials evaluation. First is the pre-use evaluation. From the word itself, pre, that means before the usage of a material. So the evaluator will guess or predict the value or the effectivity of a certain material. Second is the we least use material. We least use evaluation. I'm sorry. So the we least use evaluation is all about the evaluation during the usage of a certain material. Unlike the pre-use evaluation that it is before, we least use is more reliable and objective than of other types of material evaluation, because the evaluator witness how the teacher use a certain material inside a classroom. So the third type of materials evaluation is post-use evaluation. From the word post, so that means after the implementation or the usage of a certain material. So the evaluator will measure the effect or the impact of that material while the teacher is using it, or the output of the material. Is it effective or not, or worthy or not, useful or not? So that is how material evaluation works. So I've already shared to you my learnings about materials development and its issues, as well as materials evaluation. So let us go to its application. Let us tackle, or let me share the difference between language teaching and language learning. Language teaching is all about practice long. So language teaching is anything that is done by a teacher to facilitate learning for the students. It could be direct, or the teacher will just give the students learning without even making them think or use their critical thinking and imagination. While indirect teaching is all about for the student to have self-discovery. Well, for me, self-discovery is a more challenging one, as the students would learn for their own, to discover for their own, so that they would gain learning and develop a cognitive ability. While for language learning is a conscious process of knowing everything or learning everything about language. It has its connection to language teaching. As a teacher teaches language, a student would learn language also in any techniques, method, or teaching style that a teacher uses.
So that's all written research for all the learnings I have in my little mind. All about the lesson 1 introduction to materials development. It's just a little learning, but I hope that it have a little help in yours. And I really do hope that, like me, you've read also even a little amount of the learning I got from this lesson. So thank you so much for watching, and see you again next time for the next sharing of ideas we're to listen. For the next trip that we are going to